Ladies and gentlemen, gamers, welcome back to Now Loading Esports. My name is KR, and we're back with some Kutztown Overwatch Team 1 scrims. I'm joined again with my co-host who was absent last week. It's good to have you back, Austin.
How's it going tonight, Connor?
It's great. I'm excited. I mean, we had some interesting plays last week. PK Factor was back on the roster. I'm not seeing him in the lobby tonight, but I look forward to maybe seeing him return in the coming weeks. So, Kutztown Overwatch Team 1 are done their collegiate season. It's been a couple weeks. We're pretty deep into the semester now. I think that there's only a couple of weeks left. Is that right?
Yeah, I think there's really only like five-ish weeks, maybe.
Wow. So this team is pretty seasoned with their communication. Um, and so this is like really the part of the season where we'll see peak play from these players. Um, we are waiting on a team name from their scrim partner tonight. We're scrimming, from what I understand, at a pretty high level tonight. Kutztown is aiming high because they think that they can take it. So I believe that we're scrimming above 3,500. I think that this is somewhere probably in the 3,700 range, which is mid-masters. Masters being the top 4% of players. So um, I mean, will they be able to withstand it? We'll find out.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see if they're up to the challenge, so to say. I'm interested to see how this goes.
Just looking through the lobby so far, we've got their normal lineup. I am missing, I think their main, excuse me, their off tank. Um, PK's not here, and Oko, I believe, is out sick today. So we may be seeing Kutztown pull a player up from their secondary roster. Um, I'm curious who they're gonna bring. I mean, we did see Sponty switch over from the main tank role to the off tank role when Oko was subbed in for PK, but now that they don't have him, I'm wondering where they're going to place these players. Charlotte specifically is a well-rounded player and could probably take any of these roles. So I'm wondering if maybe they're going to have Charlotte switch to uh, something else here, maybe leave the supports where they are, probably leave Rick on DPS. Um, yeah, but we do have a team name. It is Team Flustra. So get that in your head, Austin. Flustra.
How's that spelled?
It's Flustra.
All right, I think I can remember that.
Okay, we have Peanut in to sub for Kutztown. I'm not sure who this is, but they appear to be a support player.
And they've
Top
got
500.
a gold level experience, so they've definitely had their fair share of hours in the game.
Yeah, Peanut looks to be a off support main. Peaking around 4,200. Very good player. So I'm guessing we're going to see Charlotte on the DPS role with Peanut tonight. It looks like Kutztown's keeping their support lineup where it is. Big Rick's going to be moving over to
Off
the
tank,
tank role
interesting.
tonight. Wow. Thoughts
Yeah,
on that?
I did not see that coming. Big Rick has just been a very consistent DPS player for Kutztown. He's got a very solid grasp of basically all of the DPS characters from everything that I've been able to tell. So it makes me wonder, does he have like a pocket diva or something that he's just pulling out?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him play a ton of support. I think that would be the one role I wouldn't like to see them put Big Rick on. But tank would probably be number 2. I mean, obviously I'd want him on DPS, but yeah, like you said, I mean, Big Rick has been one of the most longest standing consistent DPS players on Kutztown's roster. Now, I mean, congratulations to Rick is now been named Kutztown's Overwatch director in lieu of PK Factor's academic absence. So, congrats to Rick.
Round one. Capture.
Right, and we're about to start here. First match on Lijiang Tower here.
Yeah, we've got this Sombra Ditto that we've seen so many weeks. Kutztown, Charlotte bumping into Kekeland and actually finding him while fully invisible early. That's going to be big for Kutztown because that'll mean less ult charge for Kekeland and Char finding two early.
Kekeland and Quaver falling early in this little team fight before the point has even unlocked.
Yeah, that's big for Kutztown. They're going to get some free percent here, and if they decide to take this fight, they're going to take it and try to win it quickly and then take the point. Looks like they're deciding to back up a little bit and then win the fight towards closer to the point here. I lack sanity getting the first pick of this fight on Charlotte. Bit of revenge for that early team fight win for Kutztown earlier.
Yeah, you can see a lot of close quarters interactions happening here inside the point and down that little hallway here. I lack sanity, just kind of hanging out on the Zenyatta, you know, sniping them with those orbs of Harmony and Discord, you know, just kind of chilling out.
Yeah, I mean the damage output right now is insane for I lack sanity. We've got almost, actually just passing 2100 damage right now, leading the team on that off support, that flex support.
His ultimate charge as well.
Yeah, that's impressive. The most damage in the whole lobby right now is the Zenyatta player. That's someone you do not want to be diving, someone you have to respect the space of. I mean, really good Zenyatta players, you'll watch I lack sanity spamming these choke points where Kutztown's front line and back line are going to be charging early here. And Lucio with a Brigitte whip shot on the Peanut.
Big
Unlucky
play
timing there.
From Bubbles there with the Wrecking Ball coming in there, disrupting Kutztown's back line and you know, placing those mines down, just further disrupting their composition here.
Wow, I mean, after Kutztown getting a great first team fight win, now they're starting to struggle to get back to the point here. We have packed health packs in their way. We've got Zenyatta spamming every choke point here. We've got a Wrecking Ball on the other side. We've got a Spy checking Diva. I mean, this is a lot for Kutztown to be able to get in here. They have to get in without taking a lot of poke damage, and that's a big EMP
from Kekeland right there.
Yeah, we'll say great response from Bonewheel with that sound barrier, that pretty quick response with that sound barrier, but unfortunately, you know, players getting knocked off the edge, they're not going to get an advantage with that defensive ultimate. The environmental kill cannot be stopped with extra health.
Yeah, we see Kutztown kind of hanging back here, maybe waiting to regroup a little bit. Big Rick getting the mech back up. They're kind of gonna have to come in for another collective push. Char coming in from behind with the big EMP blast, and Litlo unleashing the Moira ultimate. And we see Peanut doing some work with the Reaper.
Yeah,
looks like
that's awesome. We'll be catching more.
Cleaned up enough to get back on the point here.
Yeah, they did use 5 of their 6 ultimates there to get onto the point. They didn't even win the team fight with it. They just were able to really move in with it. That extra damage was able to make them the space to get to the point. So they're going to have a rough defense here. Team Flustra is ahead in the EMP game right now, about 30% in front of Charlotte. KK Land is just a little bit ahead here. This is bad news for Kutztown. And these next couple of fights are going to be rough if they keep, you know, behind in the EMP game.
Yeah, and all of the shenanigans going on in this game with Sombra, very interesting to see. Both of the players that are on Sombra right now, Char and Kekeland, both kind of almost filling in a similar role to Tracer, you know, getting in behind, kind of harassing those players that might be slightly out of position or otherwise just in a good spot for them to jump on, and then going in for the dive.
I mean, this is a great little couple of wins here for Kutztown. Look at the clock here. We're almost even 99-99. And Flustra is down one player. Bubbles is going to have to be the man here to come in on the point, but it looks like they decided to send in Quaver earlier just to trigger overtime. Anybody's fight right now, it's very spread out here. The team that's going to win here is the team that can shot call the best.
Okay,
The early
Transcendent coming in with the Transcendence. Big Rick got the self-destruct out, but the Transcendence ended up negating a lot of that damage. And somehow, after the ultimate combo of the EMP Blast and the self-destruct, Kutztown is losing this team fight.
Yeah, I mean, this whole map was boiled down to which team can farm EMP faster. You'll see Charlotte just finally getting it there in the slow-mo at the end. I mean, Charlotte here at the start here catching this invisible Sombra out really quickly and then getting 2 picks off it was a great start for Kutztown, but honestly it just wasn't enough for them to keep up in the EMP game if they kept losing these fights. So we're gonna have to see Charlotte either switch off of the Sombra or farm EMP faster. It looks like we're seeing the first of those options.
Yeah, I mean, I think Echo is definitely a pretty good pick for this map. I feel like it would have gone better on the previous map, maybe, similar to like a Pharah pick. But
yeah,
both of these maps very good for vertical coverage. They have a lot of room to maneuver and kind of do damage from a distance. And if the other team can't poke them, they're gonna be a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah. I mean, just to take a look at some stats up at the top left of your screen here, take a look at Ilax Sanity Zenyatta stats. We've got 5,000 damage, and look at that damage taken. Only 490 damage taken that whole first match. That is
shields
absolutely
have not
incredible.
even been popped.
yeah, pretty much. 5 final blows, 1 death that whole map, and look, 3,000 heals, almost matching up what Lucio was playing on the Brigida on that second map. 2 Transcendence that whole time. Absolutely insane off support output right now. I mean, let's keep an eye on Ilax Sanity's Baptiste damage output. I have a feeling it's going to be more of an aggressive Baptiste from what we saw with this Zenyatta. Quaver and Keke Land, they got to get their damage stats up if they don't want to get embarrassed by their support player.
Gotta get outshined by the support player.
Yeah.
Capture the
Okay, here we go.
We see the Sombra, or I'm sorry, the Symmetra strategy here to try to teleport into the point and get there a little bit faster. It seems to have worked out for them. Looks like Spawn a Wrecking Ball to kind of give Kutztown a little bit more of that same sort of momentum.
Wow,
but it looks
Charlotte with a great early pick. I mean, these sticky bombs long range do as much damage as they do close range, and Charlotte's just able to place them so masterfully on the point here on these low health characters, these 200 health characters. And now Kutztown's starting to come in here, but they're meeting a lot of resistance. Charlotte will be falling despite getting that first pick. Sponty looking for these cheeky Wrecking Ball boops off the side, but gonna get frozen and maybe booped off the side here by the Lucio from Flustra, but nothing happening right now. Kutztown unable to take the point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looked like Flustra did a pretty good job there securing the point pretty early. And then they just did a really good job there in that little interaction, keeping the advantage on the point. We'll have to see if Kutztown manages to do any sort of adaptation to kind of get around some of this. We see Litlow coming in with the Transcendence, but there's nobody else there around him. He was kind of just saving his own life.
Yeah, that was a bit premature there from Litlow. I think was looking to save that Diva, but just pressed a little bit too soon before he saw that Diva Big Rick losing his mech. I mean, this is not looking good for Kutztown, although they're up a little bit in the ultimate department because they did force out that sound barrier, and now we've got the Brig swap from Flustra off to Lucio. They have the point right. They don't need the speed boost. They want a more defensive composition against these dive characters. I do like that
positioning there from Bubbles up on that little rooftop ledge there. We saw some similar stuff to that a couple weeks ago on another team's Wrecking Ball. I can't remember the player's name right now, but he also had a very solid Wrecking Ball, and I believe we interviewed him.
Peanut getting an exit frag here on the bubbles. I mean, on the wrecking ball doesn't mean a lot because we'll get back very quickly. Kutztown just beginning to fall to this Symmetro teleport deep into their backline, and now we're seeing quite the dominant showing from Flustra so far. I mean, Charlotte just getting shot out of the sky from these Quaver icicles here.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how much of this is due to the fact that we don't typically see Big Rick in this off-tank role.
True, Kutztown might be a little bit unfamiliar with how he plays, but I mean, so far, even if they did have PK Factor here, I don't see Kutztown doing well on this map with how they're playing together. Couple of kills here for Kutztown. They're going to be up a player here as it ticks down, as this overtime begins to get faster and faster. Looks like they might be able to actually capture this point and get some percent going. It will not be a shutout here on Li Jiang.
Yeah, like you said, Kutztown finally able to get something going here. Flustra has just done an absolutely great job of kind of locking Kutztown's options down. And, you know, we saw some great picks from Quaver on the May with those icicle shards. Absolutely crazy getting those headshots.
KKLAN on the Sombra trying to find Peanut here. He wants to hack either the Echo, who's standing over the edge, or the Tracer. Those are both really good targets. Did look like was trying to go in deep there, but did use the recall to get back out. It's going to wait for these now. Here comes the engage from Flustra. They're looking to get as much damage.
Big poop off the stage from Bone Whale there.
Yeah, it did, a recall did come in, but I mean, these characters on Flustra's side are just pretty low on health. They were all pretty low on health. I think a lot of smaller fights were brought to the back line of Flustra, ones that they couldn't handle on their own, and now they're forced to back up. Kutztown with a bit of a messy win, but a win nonetheless. 60% on the point for them.
Yeah, I think they're counting their blessings at this point, being able to just stay on that point and get the real estate that they can to try to make sure that this game doesn't end already.
You see Char here on the back of the point, just kind of surveying the land. Seeing who's where. They're going to see where they want to use these sticky mines. KKLAN takes a little bit of them, and now we have the rally here from Lucio and the Brigitte. It's going to bolster this health on this Zenyatta.
Absolutely melting Peanut on the Tracer here. She's going to have to be careful. Alright, manages to find a way out of there.
Both support ultimates pop for Flustra early here. Kutztown's going to have to respond with some
Char
damage.
coming in with the duplication on Big Rick with the mech coming in with the self-destruct. It does not end up finding any kills there. And that's going to be the match unless Kutztown can get on here in the next few seconds.
I mean, despite a shaky start here on Li Jiang, oh
wow, Kutztown is not letting this end just yet.
Yeah, excuse me, I was definitely counting my eggs before they hatched there, but despite a shaky start here on Night Market, Kutztown does manage to get 99% on the point. So that's two 100 to 99% Li Jiang matches so far. You know, we saw, let's take a look back real quick at this Tracer's pulse bomb here. Catching one despite not sticking him. Great job there from Flustra's Tracer player. So we're going to see a control center here on Li Jiang, famous for some more, you know, intense brawl comps, less spread out. And we'll see this reflect in these character swaps. And again, just your hourly eye lax sanity damage check here. We'll see just hovering
almost
below
at 9,000. Although I will say, Fax Machine and KKLAN have outpaced him, but only barely.
Yeah. It's incredible. I mean, the damage from the D.Va here, D.Va and Vap being in the top 3 damage characters for Flustra right now. That's incredible. I mean, these guys are definitely good shots because it reflects in their stats. Let's take a quick look over at Kutztown stats. We'll see Peanut leading Kutztown with 9,000 damage. Played a lot of Tracer, played a lot of Reaper. It does make sense. Followed by Big Rick on that D.Va. Great job so far swapping roles for Big Rick.
Yeah, and Char not too far behind after.
And here we go, the brawl begins. Kutztown deciding to back off a little bit, and as soon as Sponty left that high ground, you'll see Quaver saw an opportunity there, but Sponty bringing Bubbles back to his spawn. You took my friend, I'm gonna take you back to see mine. Sponty responds with a reverse-facing charge. Kutztown's now gonna push in because Flusher doesn't have a Reinhardt for a couple seconds here. They may have to give up this space here, and it looks like they will.
Yeah, I definitely expect to see those damage numbers on both Quaver and Char go up quite a bit over this match because Junkrat in this particular control point on Lijiang Tower is just absolutely insane with the amount of damage he can deal out. You know, he's got the bouncing grenades that go everywhere down these thin hallways.
That was a great pick from Quaver there on the side, catching I believe it was Charlotte out of position. They thought that Kutztown thought that Flusher rotated all to that top side, but Quaver waited patiently, and now you'll see Quaver has this Riptire, this defensive Riptire online. Probably going to find a good place to use it up on this high ground. Going to wait for Kutztown to come in, and he's going to probably pop it behind him. It looks like this is a great play
very sneaky,
coming out here.
Very sneaky. I like it.
Oh, looks like Bone Wheel spotted him. And he's gonna take one for the team, and he does kill the Riptire before it goes off. Kutztown turns around, and they will find Quaver out. This is big for them.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge for Kutztown there. If that Riptire had gone off, who knows how many it would have taken along with it. And now Kutztown has their Riptire ready to roll for a defensive play of their own, finally getting onto the point.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Kutztown lose their healer Litlo pretty early in that fight, but it didn't matter because they did have the numbers. Bonewheel was the lone healer on Kutztown alive there. Quaver might be caught out a little bit here if this Riptire. Charlotte looking for a teleport play with the Riptire. Teleported in!
Coming in!
We'll find one! Incredible game sense there. Really good communication between Peanut and Charlotte there, using both of their abilities combined to catch Flustra out.
Yeah, I mean, I think they only got one pick off of there, but it was Quaver, so I would say it was a good one.
It does give Kutztown another at least 10 seconds on this point here, which is big for them as they are behind in percent right now. Sponty 50% on this Earth Shatter. If this is a long fight, he's going to have a game-saving Earth Shatter here, but it looks like he'll...
Okay, Bubbles coming in with an Earth Shatter of his own, but it gets blocked by Big Rick and Sponty with those big shields. And Sponty coming in with an Earth Shatter of his own. 4-man Earth Shatter coming in with the Reinhardt charge, following it up.
Wow. I asked and I was delivered that mid-fight Earth Shatter to save it. I mean, Sponty just flexing here.
Yeah, absolutely huge dominance there. Kutztown really showing their stuff. They probably practiced that combo who knows how many times, and it really shows.
Okay, we have an offensive Riptire here. I'm expecting Quaver to throw it here. We've got a lot of visual shields on the screen right now. Here comes Quaver into Kutztown's backline. Litlo using this Immortality Field early. He'll catch Bonewheel. This is not a one fight for either team yet, but it is in Flustra's favor right now. Quaver taking quite the flank here, all the way behind Kutztown on this Junkrat. This guy's crazy!
Yeah, the positioning from Flustra right now, really, really competent stuff, you know. Taking that vantage point up from the stairs to kind of scope out the control point and control more space.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, they played very disciplined after they got that first pick onto Litlo there. They pushed up, but they pushed up together and safely behind that shield and that Diva defense matrix. Here comes this Riptire from Charlotte. This is gonna need to be a big one. It almost is 99 to 99 on the point here. Charlotte looking to get something done here, and I lack sanity! The damage dealer for Flustra will save the team! Fax Machine finding one here. Kutztown Shatter with Sponty's name on it. Will find one in the name of Bubbles, but won't find anything in the kill feed. Kutztown's beginning to fall here, and now that it's 99-99, we might see a third map go to Flustra, with Kutztown having 99% behind them.
Victory.
Wow.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Kutztown, but I would say, you know, I still think well played. You know, they were able to claw back a lot of real estate from Flustra there.
Yeah, we saw this massive Earth Shatter here from Sponty, laying 4 members down and giving Kutztown a window to get some more percent on the point. I mean, this was the biggest ultimate we saw of the whole map here on Lijiang.
Yeah, the kill cam there is actually from Big Rick, who was just able to come in with the Diva Flight and the missiles to just absolutely shred anybody who was knocked down in that Earth Shatter.
Yeah, let's take a look one more time at another highlight here. We've got Quaver on this Junkrat. You'll see he'll peek right really quick, take that off angle, and find Charlotte out of position. And now the damage is going to roll in as he just shoots into this hallway that Kutztown's trying to leave out of. An incredibly quick team fight win, and then those are the ones that you want, right? The ones that cost your team the least. And then he had that excellent Riptire after. Yeah. Speaking of Riptires here, this teleport play.
Yeah, Char was just waiting for that teleporter to come up so that they could coordinate this. Look at this go through the teleporter and into Quavar, the other Junkrat.
I would have been pissed. That was such a long range tire. That might have been probably max range on that. It does have a deceptively large explosion radius. I think the visual really doesn't do it justice, but I mean, regardless, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know, the game is the game, and it's been like that for a long time. So, switching maps here over to Havana, we're gonna see a lot of snipers on this map here, and we're gonna see Big Rick back on the DPS role here. Peanut switching over to a main tank.
Yeah, and we see Char switching off to the Hanzo as well. Quavar with the same idea on the opposing team. So yeah, this is another map with a lot of wide open vantage points to kind of pop shots through.
Yeah, this is that exact kind of map, right? We were gonna want to take a look at the Orisa players here. We've got Peanut and Bubbles here, both of which have a very important role with this type of composition. They're looking to communicate with their team when they're using their halts. They're gonna pull players around corners, and then their snipers. We've got Quaver, Keklin, Big Rick, and Char for Flustra and Kutztown respectively. Their job is to throw damage into those halts and catch players who were in position and pull them out of position and instantly kill them. So for those of you at home, if you're looking to pick up a main tank with some, you know, and you've got a lot of friends who play snipers, Orisa is gonna be your pick here, especially if you're more comfortable with the bunker comp and you don't want to play Wrecking Ball and you don't want to play Diva. Orisa is a great character for stuff like this. I mean, pre-patch Orisa, I'm not sure if you played with pre-patch Orisa, her halt range was much larger, and the Overwatch League Season 2 was dominated by halt combos.
5, 4,
Looks like we're going to be getting started in just a second here.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, it looks like Team Flustra is going to be taking up this high ground here, right in front of the payload. They've got a great vantage point to kind of just sit and take shots from. Peanut is going to have to do a really great job deploying that bubble shield on the Orisa. Sponty on the Sigma as well. Both of these characters are going to have to do a really good job protecting their players from all of the damage coming out from Flustra.
Just such massive long-range damage. You'll see these Sigma players, Fax Machine and Sponty, saving their shield for when they get pulled. They'll put their shield up and they'll save those players from that damage. Peanut pressing forward a little bit too far here will get caught out, and Kutztown is going to have to back up now that they do not have one of their key players.
Yeah, Litlow having to use his immortality field there to protect himself and Char in that little hallway there. And yeah, just a little bit of a misplay, I would say, from Kutztown there.
Wow, Charlotte's just in Flustra's backline right now. Caught Keklin out sleeping. I guess he thought that Quaver would deal with him on his own, but now Kutztown's coming in to save him, and he's able to get out, actually. Wow.
A lot of cheeky stuff going on tonight, I guess.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of interesting rotates from both of these teams so far. Kutztown just fighting in this little high ground, this little stairwell. Looks like Flustra is going to give them a lot of space here, but a great cross angle here from Kecklin on the Widowmaker, trying to pick some players off in Kutztown's backline who aren't paying attention to their positioning.
Yeah, those shots definitely came out of nowhere for people who were not paying attention, and those Widowmaker shots, they do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, in the hands of the right player, it's basically the best character in the game. I mean, a great rotate backwards that we saw earlier from Flustra is going to mean that they're going to win this fight and regroup their health, and now Kutztown basically back at square one.
Yeah, they're gonna have to regroup the entire team to make another push at this, and in the meantime, Flustra is just gonna be able to kind of sit on that payload, make it go backwards a little bit, and stall out the timer even longer against Kutztown. And here comes the big Dragon Strike from Quaver, not finding any kills on Kutztown.
Ultimate's getting used here. I think it's definitely a reactionary thing from these players if they hear an ultimate to use their
really
own.
unfortunate placement of Bob there from Big Rick. He's just kind of hanging out in that back hallway there, not really able to do very much in that position.
Yeah, this is honestly, Kutztown could very easily lose this fight here, and it looks like they're starting to do that even after all of those ultimates were committed. Just nothing coming of it. Their ultimate usage is just suffering enough. And they're forced to back up again, back to square one.
Yeah, I think the reality is I think Flustra has just been able to very consistently call Kutztown out when they are out of position, when they're spread a little bit too thin, maybe pushing up a little bit too far. And because of that, Kutztown has not been able to push this payload to the first point. And there's only 20 seconds left to go, so...
Yeah, here comes I Lack Sanity, just not dropping any of this damage. Just being basically a third DPS for their team this whole scrim so far. Really, really impressive. Sponty switching over to a quick character just so he can get on point, and all these stuns just get thrown at him.
But it's not for... Not gonna be finding anything there. Not quick enough.
Score 0.
Yeah, I mean, that was a dominant defense there. Really putting their foot down. Flustra, their rotation, I have to say, is excellent. I want to point out excuse me, I keep messing up your name. Kekeland here with these great defensive rotates on Widowmaker. Being a Widowmaker, a previous Widowmaker player myself, knowing this map is super important. I mean, this is a super powerful Widowmaker map through every single point, even this inside second point, and these angles that Kekeland was taking on defense was just really putting a lot of pressure on Kutztown's supports, like basically not letting them have any of their own mental RAM to focus on healing, and instead making them focus on, like, oh my god, am I in the line of sight of the Widowmaker right now? Am I in line of sight of the Widowmaker right now? Just over and over again. That's exactly what you want from your Widowmaker play. You want to be like Batman, where, you know, even if you're not there, you have an effect on people.
I am the knight.
Exactly, yeah.
Fear me.
So,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
gotta say, I'm a little surprised Kutztown didn't opt for at least one of their players to take a kind of anti-Widow character, you know? Something like a Diva or Winston or something. Anything to kind of disrupt that.
Yeah, it can do, you know, a switch like that can do really well. I will say a Winston there probably wouldn't be, you know, a great decision, especially if you can't get up very close without taking damage. And seeing that Flustra honestly was rotating very well, I don't even know if that would have been possible for Kutztown. But yeah, I mean, a switch, maybe putting Big Rick on that Widowmaker. I mean, Widowmaker is like the dragon type Pokemon, right, where they counter themselves. You want to get rid of that Widowmaker, you get one of your own and just be better, right?
Until they added Fairy type.
Exactly, yeah.
4.
So Kutztown's got a lot of work ahead of them if they want to keep up here in the scrim. So far, we've seen a pretty even Lijiang Tower, although Flustra winning all 3 maps, Kutztown only losing by 1% and basically one team fight here. Litlow Bone Wheel here, going on the Bat Mercy. I like this defense better than the Zenyatta offense. Maybe they did need a Zen on offense there, but I mean, I lack sanity. Not being on the Zenyatta is an absolute crime from what we've seen on Lijiang.
Yeah, maybe they just see more utility on Baptiste for them personally on the offense. So perhaps they just are more comfortable on the offense as Baptiste, and that's why we see Lucio going on Zenyatta.
I mean, look, the payload's pretty much where Kutztown got it to in their furthest run here. Now, we are in a scrim code, so viewers beware. If the cart does get there, the match will not end. This match will go all the way through, but Kutztown's, this is an incredibly messy sniper fight for them. They're slowly starting to win, but they have to be careful. You know, Sponty here out alone with very low health. I mean, caster's curse? Or was that his own fault, you know?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah. Just a quick shout out to my buddy Was Here Juan, one of my old teammates, is probably watching the stream right now, so shout out to him. He's back on Overwatch after a hiatus. It's good to see him back on. And I hope you're enjoying the production tonight. We've got Kutztown versus their scrim team, Flustra. Flustra rotating all the way around here. I like this. This gives their snipers a lot of options in where they want to stand. Charlotte trying to force Kekelan into a bad position here. Has done it. Kekelan can't get any healing right now. So Charlotte can take a super wide angle. Is going to flank all the way around and try to find something. But Kutztown's running out of time here. I mean, like, they're getting pushed from every angle here almost.
Okay, and we finally see the Dragon Strike coming in from Char there. Able to take down 2 or 3 of Flustra's teammates there. And the rest of the team doing a pretty good job cleaning up the rest.
Yeah. That flank definitely did pay off for Charlotte there. Going after the Widowmaker, I don't remember if it did get the kill, but it did put Charlotte in a position to get that Dragon Strike. And when they're all up there in that hallway, I mean, the placement of that Dragon Strike was absolutely perfect from Charlotte. I mean, they're just showing great skill on Hanzo so far on defense.
Yeah, like you said, when you're in that kind of close quarters environment, there's not many places you can go, and that Dragon Strike goes through everything.
Kutztown using some ultimates here, using that defensive gravitic flux there.
Oh, and the damage matrix coming out as well.
Charlotte playing Hanzo a little bit like a tracer. I mean, we've seen so many flanks so far in these team fights from Charlotte, and neither team so far just able to get past this corner on the first part.
I mean, to their credit, it seems to be working out.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that both of these teams are struggling on the offensive. Usually snipers just do better on offense because you just have more places to rotate to naturally. But Kutztown finding some of their stride in their defense here. Good for them. The last opportunity here for Flustra. They're going to throw everything they have at this. They're using an infrasight early. Charlotte's going to be forced off of this high ground because of it. Now, both of Kutztown snipers are on the same angle. This is not what you want. You see how much space this is going to give to Flustra? They're able to walk out here.
Damage matrix coming up from Flustra there. And they're able to kind of outposition, but Char coming in with the Dragon Strike is going to force them off of that payload for just a second here.
Wow. I mean, this is incredible. I've never seen a scrim go so deep into the scrim, being one team fight away on every map from changing the result of the map. I mean, we saw 3 Lijiang maps go 100-99. Now we're seeing Havana on the last team fight, on the last second. They're able to capture the cart onto where Kutztown couldn't. So, I mean, Flustra just aced an inch ahead of Kutztown so far. Just an inch.
Yeah, but apparently an inch was all they needed because now they're on the inside of this little factory here, able to push the payload a little further, and it looks like maybe this is just my imagination, but it looks like so far they're having a little bit of issue defending this as well as they did the previous point.
Yeah, great Dragon Strike placement there from Quaver, just finding 3 on the high ground there, just so much damage. Litlow able to put that immortality field down, that Baptiste immortality field, but it's just not enough to keep Kutztown up and alive there. Kutztown just getting edged out here by Flustra. It's great play from them so far on the second point.
Even in the game chat, we see some frustration on the side of Kutztown. Shvar coming in there with the re.
Big Rick swapping over to the Widowmaker, putting the big boy pants on, trying to take this 1v1, and he does win the first Widow 1v1 against Kekla. This might be the swap that Kutztown needs to win this. Two Gravitic Fluxes
big
up here.
Gravitic Flux coming in from both of the Sigmas there. And the Dragon Strike coming in from Shar to try to clean up, but not finding many targets.
Wow, for a little while this was a pretty even fight. Big Rick making up for the lost players from Fax Machine's Gravitic Flux with 2 picks of his own. And now this is this last point. This is the best Widowmaker point, I'm convinced, almost in the game. Defense or offense, just such a long sightline the whole way down. And this is going to be, you know, the Widowmaker show with the Hanzo Sonar Arrow support.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you've got so many places to kind of shoot from. You got these towers to grapple to. Just so many different spots to take advantage of.
Yeah, I like Kekeland's offensive Widowmaker grapples here, just trying to get up, catch Big Rick out, and we'll see Kekeland finding the first pick of the fight here on the Bone Wheel. That Dragon Strike from Quaver.
Dragon Strike just to disrupt a little bit.
Yeah, that will split Kutztown in half, and it will force these players to stay in longer than they wanted to. And now they're forced back very, very far here.
Castle.
Wow. Ilax Sanity is nuts on this map. I mean, just a mechanical phenom here for Flustra. Showing off every map with whatever character is using. Big Rick will win the second 1v1 in the Widow game here, and Kutztown off of that. I mean, you can see how quickly the fight will turn after you lose that Widowmaker. Kutztown finding 2 more kills immediately after, and so much damage raining in on them. Bubbles caught between the rock and a hard place here in this castle barrack. Actually does get out.
Caught inside the little tower there. Fortunately, Orisa has a lot of health, so...
Yeah, that Fortify, able to let Bubbles just casually walk out of there almost at full health. Last chance here for Flustra on 3rd point. Lucio on the Zenyatta finding Big Rick on the Widowmaker in the backline. I mean, great spam down from him, but Sponty!
Char coming in with Dragon Strike for the disruption. Ilax Sanity's immortality field kind of negating that damage, and Lucio coming in with the Transcendence. Bone Wheel, he has to respond with the Transcendence of his own in order to negate some of the damage that Flustra is taking out. And here comes a Dragon Strike from Quaver. This team fight at the end of this match here is going absolutely crazy, but it looks like Flustra will be able to take it with a team kill.
Wow. This is a great scrim choice for Kutztown. I mean, we've seen, now this is the end of Havana here for both sides, but I mean, every map so far is just down to the last team fight on every opportunity. Yeah, Quaver with this Dragon Strike here, we're gonna take a look at it. Throws it right up into Kutztown's feet through here, and then he's gonna come up on this high ground. This is a great off angle, a little cheeky pick spot there. We'll find 2 more finished off from the damage that he started with that Dragon Strike.
Alright, and we're about to see another play here from Fax Machine on the Sigma here with the Gravitic Flux. Getting at least 2 or 3 picks here on that ultimate usage. Just absolutely smashing through this factory here on Havana.
Yeah, he actually initiated the usage of his ultimate while he was in Sponty's Gravitic Flux, so a little bit of payback there, pretty quick karma there coming to Sponty from Fax Machine. We're going to be switching now over to Numbani. This is one of my favorite maps. Kutztown, we've seen them play this defensive soldier on this high ground, this Z high ground on the top of point 1, and it has worked so well for them. I'm expecting to see this again on defense when Kutztown gets swapped over. But for now, I mean, what are you going to expect here on offense for Kutztown?
Well, like I said, like you said, I would definitely expect to see some more dive picks coming in. Maybe something like Pharah or Echo. I see Char's opted to go for the Pharah. I like the pick on this map for that character. Just does very well in this kind of environment. A lot of spots to kind of hover. A lot of kind of alleyways to kind of just distribute that splash damage where it needs to go. And we got Litlow and Bonewheel with the Ana and the Mercy on the support roles, building that classic Pharah Mercy combo.
Yeah, Pharah's going to do really, really well here on offense. You can spam from so far away onto this Z platform high ground. We'll see Ilax Sanity is going to be Charlotte's main target here on this back high ground. That Ana is the only character that can't get away. You'll notice all of the characters on Flustra's lineup here have a movement ability, except for Ilax Sanity on this Ana. This is going to be the target for Kutztown. This is going to be the Achilles heel in Flustra's defense here if they can find an opportunity to jump on Ilax Sanity.
And here they go. About to see some more crazy dive composition from Big Rick and Sponty on the Winston and Diva, respectively. We've got a ditto in terms of the tanks on Flustra, Fax Machine on the Diva, and Bubbles on the Winston. And we see a team fight up on this top platform here between the tanks of both teams.
Kutztown wants to just take this top platform area and a sleep dart
Wow, big
on the
sleep
Charlotte.
from Ilax Sanity onto Char. Bonewheel coming in with the resurrection. They do not want Char to be down for too long because the amount of damage that this Pharah is able to put out is just absolutely insane for Flustra to have to deal with. Ilax Sanity and Lucia will have to do a lot of work in order to heal that damage back, and they would just prefer not to have to deal with it.
Yeah, I think that was a great retractment from the point by Kutztown there. They were able to get out with a rezzed player and only one dead, and that was big for them.
Nano boost on both of the monkeys here.
A lot of damage on this high ground. Kutztown just wants advantage from this high ground, and it looks like they're gonna get it here. They're taking a lot of space here with these tanks. And they're able to get point one. It was a little bit messy, but I mean, look at the ults they managed to keep for this team fight. They only used the nano boost, and they're going to have all 5 of their other ultimates for this fight. And if we look on the side of Flustra just marginally behind Kutztown here. They're going to have 4 for this team fight, and wow, a great early first 2 picks here for them. That's going to mean some time off the clock for Kutztown.
Fax Machine coming in with the Diva up on that top platform, just being a bit of a pest, you know, disrupting Kutztown from sitting on that payload, doing some damage. And here comes Char with the Justice, but gets shot down. I believe they might have gotten Keke Land in that blast there, but I'm not positive.
After Charlotte went down, I mean, that fight so quickly went in favor of Flustra there. Quaver just finding, I think, so much damage on this Winston duplicate. And now look at this position. They have a high ground right above Kutztown spawn. Charlotte with an air shot on a Keke Land as he's using that coach gun to try to get away. A great shot from them. This could be an opening for them as they push up around the corner.
Okay, Fax Machine coming in with the Diva self-destruct, but goes a little bit too far behind Kutztown and is not going to find anybody because of it.
Yeah, Litlow getting a Mercy flown into him on this payload. Charlotte finding a bit of a side flank here. Is probably looking to hover above this high ground as Flustra comes in, but Keke lands up top here with Peanut. Peanut's looking to peek in here. Looks like they're going to find each other here around the corner. And they're gonna secede the high ground here. This is, I don't know if this is what you
Okay.
want to do for an
Waver
early
coming
fight.
in around sniping Bone Wheel. That's really bad for Char.
Peanut tossing a pulse bomb into the void in a last-ditch effort to get Quaver off the map, but Charlotte does it for him. Manages to stay alive long enough to kill themselves, unfortunately.
Big Rick, the only survivor on the side of Kutztown, and being reduced to her pilot state, and not too long after being killed.
Charlotte is super far back in Flustra's spawn right now. Is going to be a bit of a thorn in their side if he can find some value from this flank. Dodges the sleep dart from I Lack Sanity, but now look how much space Kutztown gets. Their players are rotated back, and now they're finally back. Kutztown gets a little bit of high ground space for free here.
Yeah, Bubbles having to do a leap back towards his own line in order to kind of save himself. He's
Wow,
in a pretty bad position here.
Quaver almost dying to that self-destruct from Big Rick, but now dying from the jump pack damage of Sponty.
Primal Rage coming out from Bubbles. Oh, gets slept by Litlow, interrupting the ultimate.
Wow, that's a couple seconds off of that, and with that, you know, and even with this Bob right in their faces, Kutztown able to do so much damage to these players and be able to take them out. I think they'll be able to get this point here, and they will. Kutztown putting up a decent time here on point 3 of Nabani. This is a much harder point for Pharah. As soon as they get through this choke point, Pharah and Echo players are going to open up here. They have this high ground here. Charlotte with these air shots and wow, actually removes the chance for Lucio to resurrect there with that concussive blast, knocking him out of the range of the res and canceling it. And now Lucio does not have that cooldown.
Yeah, and Kutztown right now just pushing all the way up against their spawn doors, just absolutely refusing to get out of their faces, and taking all of the real estate as they do so.
Just a dominant aerial performance from Charlotte on this Pharah. This is the first time tonight we're seeing Charlotte really shine on the DPS role. We saw some shaky Sombra plays in the beginning, but now we're seeing some great Pharah play. Caster's Curse, as I say it. Charlotte gets taken down by Kekeland, the counter.
Okay, Quavar coming in with the duplication self-destruct to keep Kutztown off that payload. Big Rick was just about to remech there, but before he was able to, Fluster was just able to shoot him down.
Hey, did use that self-destruct. I'm not sure that's exactly what he wanted there. I'm thinking was looking to get a cheeky remech kill, but does get stopped like you said. Kutztown pushing up here, getting some space on the underneath of this highway here. Bubbles meeting Big Rick here. This is all basically Reinhardt Zarya gameplay here from these dive tanks right now, as there's not a high ground that they need to take. Gonna be pushing up here, and Char will lose the second 1v1
from Kekeland on Char there.
Yeah.
Quavar now being able to come in with the Echo. Amplified damage just being unanswered now.
Yeah, we do have a lot of ultimates for Kutztown here. Kekeland, the sole member with their ultimate. I mean, while Bob is an important ultimate, I mean, Kutztown does have 3 of their own, all being offensive. This nano boost could be used to save someone's life, but I see it being used as an offensive tool with this Winston. Charlotte looking for a good opportunity barrage from the side here, but being met by Quaver here before he can do it, and there it is.
Justice, not finding many kills there.
We'll find Lucio, which is big for them, but I mean, honestly, Kutztown is losing too many numbers here. They're gonna have to.
Monty coming in with the Primal Rage, but it's not enough. Even that amplified health got melted down in that last interaction there, and looks like Fluster will be able to take this map for defense.
Yeah, holding Kutztown at this 3rd point is good news for them, because we've seen so many close battles with them tonight that you know, they'll only have to win this last fight here. Now, Let's take a look at a replay from this last match. We have Quavar on this duplicate here for this Winston. Look at this cleave damage.
Yeah, absolutely insane, and just about to get the Primal Rage, activates the Primal Rage in duplication form, and just goes absolutely hog wild, if you will.
Yeah, that. And let's take a look at another replay here. We have one from Charlotte here on this Pharah. So many air shots this evening. And I mean, the one thing that we did see that I think was a little bit shaky was the ultimate usage so far has been a little bit lackluster. I mean, it is hard, especially against a character like Ashe, to get something done in the sky. But
yeah, especially because when Pharah goes into her Justice mode, she can't move for a couple seconds. She's just locked in there for as long as those missiles continue to go off. So that's pretty much free damage for the opposing players who are playing the hit scam characters.
That's exactly right. Now, we're seeing a bit of a mirror comp here from Kutztown's defense. I'm surprised that I'm not seeing, you know, their tried and true defensive Soldier 76, but I guess because we have Big Rick on the tank role, Peanut's just not comfortable playing that character. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm a little sad to see that Soldier will not be played on this map, but, you know, maybe they've got something else up their sleeves for this new defensive composition. I mean, new in the sense of different members playing different roles. So we'll have to see.
Our job here is to take this first section, this first third of this high ground. Litlo playing very close to his tanks. I'm not sure this is what you want to do. Wow, Bone Wheel with a great whip shot onto Bubbles, forcing him off of that high ground. But Sponty might be a little bit caught out here, forced to use his jump to get back up. And now he doesn't have it if he wants to chase. This could be big for Flushtra, getting that cooldown out. Looks like it won't matter.
Peanut and Char doing a great job maneuvering around with these super mobile characters. Peanut on the Tracer, Char on the Echo, you know. We saw Peanut earlier take a classic Tracer flank position, just kind of waiting out the enemy team to dive them from behind.
Wow, impressively fast nano boost there, charged from Litlo. Just so much healing he has to do.
Big duplication from Quavar onto the Winston there.
Yeah, it turns out that just having two Winstons and a D.Va is just incredibly powerful.
Who knew?
And Quavar just showing off why. I mean, that's just so much cleave damage that you can't, you know, get behind someone to block. It's just unblockable at that point.
It reminds me of the classic competitive Overwatch days of the 3 tank, 3 healer meta.
Yeah, Goats. I mean, shout out to Goats for forcing Blizzard to change how the game is played, and putting Rollock in there. We'll see. I mean, this Ashe on offense now, doing pretty well so far against Kutztown. I'm pretty impressed with how it's going.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Kekelan's got 10,000 damage already on the board, only being outpaced by Quavar on the Echo.
Wow, those are definitely some impressive numbers. So I mean, look forward to seeing what Kekelan can do on this second and maybe third point here. Charlotte finding an early pick onto Lucio is pretty big, but not after Lucio was able to res Kekelan.
Coming onto Bubbles, but gets slept by Litlo. Going into the Primal Rage, he's gonna have to jump out of there in order to keep on living.
This is a little bit shaky for Kutztown. They're not picking the right targets. They're really just not going after these supports, and as a result, these players just aren't dying even after they're ahead in numbers. Wow, just jamming the Eva Bomb in there, and Big Rick body blocking the duplicate.
Big Rick there. That was really smart stuff from him.
Wow, yeah, that is definitely heads up Overwatch. Just body blocking the duplicate of Quavar in that just small hallway there. Just forcing that D.Va bomb in his face. And I mean, he loses that D.Va duplicate a lot faster than I'm sure he wanted to. Kutztown just grouping up here. Peanut with a double kill pulse bomb to end that fight. I mean, excellent job. That's the first real action tonight we've seen with pulse bombs. I mean, if you think about it, maybe only a couple kills here and there on Li Zhang, but nothing so far except for that double kill by Peanut. Great play.
Sometimes a double is all that you need.
Yes, sir. Kutztown find their footing on this defense. You'll see they're very spread out now. They want to spread out, but they want to be close enough to their team where they can help them out. We'll see Sponty jump back up onto the high ground to help his supports, but Bonewheel just gets melted before anything else can happen. Lidlow's sure to fall as well. And now Kutztown, without any healers, has to defend second point.
Yeah,
Big
really
Rick.
unfortunate placement there for the self-destruct from Big Rick there behind the payload. You know, the teammates on Flustra's side that were there, they were just able to go to the other sides of that car and completely avoid the damage that was put out by that.
Bonewheel, the player who died first here, now getting a lot of damage thrown at him as he backs up into Kutztown's front line now. Anti-grenade on him, and Quaver! I mean, the long-range Ilax Sanity biotic grenade will find Bonewheel, and that's super bad news for Kutztown. Look at this cart progress for free.
And Ilax Sanity just camping out this top platform here with the Ana. Still very decent in terms of the damage output in their own right, you know. Playing the support, 5,000 damage on that Ana. Nothing to sneeze at.
Wow, a great sleep dart from Ilax Sanity onto a nano-boosted Winston jumping in the name of Sponty. Kutztown down one player now as they lose both of their supports again. I mean, this is not
coming
looking
in
good.
with the duplicated Primal Rage, just absolutely cleaving through whatever's left of Kutztown's defensive line. They're gonna have to make another rallying play here at the end in order for them to prevent Flustra from taking this.
Yeah, this is not good for Kutztown. They just lost their supports so early in that fight, and now they're just forced to play without healing, which is incredibly hard with the characters that they have. They have to play fast and aggressive, and they want a quick fight, and unfortunately, they got a long one, which Flustra did a great job of drawing out, and now you know, we see the fruits of their labor on point 3 of Nambani there. This is probably the strongest difference in teams that we've seen so far tonight. Flustra really shutting Kutztown out, keeping them from third point, right? At least they did get that first point, but let's take a look back at this Winston highlight here. This duplicated Winston just again, like, just duplicated Winston on defense last time, and now again on offense, just being everywhere at once. You'll see just jumping everywhere with so much health, and it's just a third tank for Flustra, and that's just so valuable for them on the offense there.
Yeah, I believe we saw at least 2 of those duplication ultimates into the Winston there, and just really able to capitalize on that Primal Rage to have that that monkey's fist everywhere that Kutztown turned.
Yeah, I mean, if we're making not jokes here, I'm a little undereducated, but the monkey's fist exists, and so does the monkey here for Kutztown's offense. Sponty deciding to stick to the Winston on here. This is going to be super hard for them to get in, right? These dive compositions are built on staging, and for those of you at home, staging is getting to where you're going to be able to jump from, right? I mean, you only have a certain amount of range on these dive characters. Winston only having a leap every X amount of seconds, Diva only having the booster every X amount of seconds. So you've got to get close enough so you can get there in one jump. And the issue with this composition against what Flustra's running right now is their job is to do as much damage at a range as they can. which is exactly what you don't want if you're playing a dive composition. So what we're gonna have to see from Flustra here if they want to survive is we're gonna have to see a lot of great early damage, right? We're gonna have to see a lot of good rotations if they see Kutztown staging. And if you're Kutztown, it's gonna be difficult to win here. I'll be honest with you, Austin. This
Well, yeah,
composition does not do well against this. But if they can stage well, if they can use their abilities to stage well, if they can use their defense matrix, if they can use their their amped speed boost, perhaps they might be able to get to where they're going safely. But it'll be difficult.
Yeah, I can definitely see where the difficulty could come up. I mean, even the pressure exerted by Bubbles on that Orisa by herself with that fortification does a lot to kind of negate some of the more aggressive options that Kutztown might be putting out with those 2 damage tanks.
Yeah, we'll see Charlotte if Charlotte can get this Sombra back up and running. We saw an outpaced Sombra is the way I'll put it there on Lijiang Tower. Quaver just finding a faster ultimate charge. And now Charlotte on the offense here is gonna have some weird targets to pick here. Guessing you're gonna want to go after the Brig or the Baptiste here with the hack from Sombra, but you're gonna have to wait for the perfect moment because Kutztown has to stage before that, like I said earlier, and staging on these characters is not gonna be easy. Litlow over to the Zenyatta. I like it. I like the swap, right? We need some long-range pressure after your team jumps in. The Discord Orb plus the hack plus the Sponty Slam. I mean,
and on
if the
top of that,
stars align.
we see Peanut on the soldier, so
Oh, wow, okay. This is
so
definitely
maybe
an
some
interesting.
long-range support coming in.
Yeah. This is an interesting composition from Kutztown here. From what we've seen against Flustra tonight, I mean, I'm not sure, to be honest, it's going to work out. But, you know, we're at the mid-masters level here. Anything can happen. A little bit less so than, you know, at a level, you know, somewhere in plat. But anything can happen at this level as well. See Flustra rotating, just like I said earlier, they're gonna have to out-rotate Kutztown if they want to get value on these characters here. And Sponty just getting accretion and shield bashed by the Brigitte, and just forced out early. Kutztown has to wait here, and a great rock combo just barely misses there. And now Quaver just finding Charlotte in the back line, doing some sneaking around, but apparently was not sneaky enough.
Yeah, Quaver doing a very similar playstyle to what we saw Char doing in the Havana map on her Hanzo. Kind of sneaking around a little bit and almost playing Hanzo like a flank character.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch, and the results that we got were not what I was expecting. Wait, Charlotte and Sponty almost took some players out there. They were alone. Both Kekilan and Quaver were away from their supports, but they were honestly pretty safe with Ilax Sanity on that Baptiste. I mean, you're pretty much safe anywhere.
Yeah, we see Sponty and Char waiting in this back wing here to try to take Team Flustra by surprise here. Not exactly going to work out. Quaver is just kind of hanging out. He's there to kind of check that hallway and make sure nobody's coming. Shoot that shoot that location arrow so that he can reveal the positions of the rest and just kind of
Oh, Sponty!
coming in with the amplified wrecking ball.
Wow, he almost got 2 booped players off the map there. He did get 1. Quaver with the lightning reflexes, jumping back and climbing onto the map here. And now look at this. I mean, Kutztown could lose this fight. It is a 3v4, but look how spread out Kutztown is. Here comes that positional advantage.
Litlow coming in with the Transcendence, trying to save this team fight on behalf of Kutztown. But I don't think it's going to work out here.
Yeah.
Yep, Litlow falling down, Big Rick down in pilot form, and Bone Wheel and Peanut and Sponty are just kind of hanging out there, having to wait. Big Rick did manage to die there, so they're gonna have to wait until he responds.
Was Kutztown's fight to win there, and they just didn't close the gap that they needed to get those kills. Now Charlotte with the EMPs, looking for it, he's ready to go. They're setting up, looks like they're going to be moving actually down to the low ground here on the point, maybe opting for a translocator up with the EMP. Gonna have to keep an eye on Charlotte. I mean, they've got the most important ultimate in the lineup right now. This is their last chance here. Charlotte underneath Flustra's front line here. Maybe is waiting for a player to drop down before using this EMP. Here comes Bubbles. A hack will fail on the Bubbles, but Bubbles will just safely sit behind that shield. But Big Rick catches 3 with an amazingly placed self-destruct onto the high ground. He'll die, but in a hero's fashion will catch 3 before
here
his team
comes
will
the
be able to catch
tactical
this.
visor from Peanut to clean up anybody who might be left over. Kutztown able to finally take advantage on this first point here.
Wow, I mean, Big Rick with the hero play for his team. Now maybe losing connection or something, is standing still for quite a while. Looks like he is back. Kutztown on their way to point 2 here. I mean, Charlotte held on to that EMP the whole time. This is big news for Kutztown.
They've got it ready to use in this next team fight, which could be even more valuable in this second point here. The close quarters environment, all of the hallways that the DPS on Kutztown's side can shoot down, definitely might take advantage of that EMP burst.
Yeah, Charlotte getting caught out twice there from Quaver, just doing his spy checking homework. Forced to back out twice and now 3 times. Is in a pretty bad position here against Kekeland, but will win the 1v1. Kutztown with a window of opportunity with this EMP. Here comes Charlotte with it, translocating, using it, catching only 1 member, but it is an important one. Ilax standing on that Baptiste will not
And
have that
Bubbles going
immortality
down
kill.
on the Orisa.
Sponty with his second boop kill of the map on the Wrecking Ball, catching Lucio off the map for I believe the 2nd time. I'm not sure if it was him last time, but definitely was an important member for them.
Wow, double Dragon Strike from Peanut and Quavar, but Flustra not able to find any purchase on the second point. Kutztown really did a good job taking that match back.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Like, I'm a little flabbergasted. That was definitely a difficult take for them, but it wouldn't have been that easy without this Wrecking Ball play. You'll see here Sponty knocking him off. And
Wow, Quavar was just absolutely scrambling there. The only reason he survived is because Hanzo has that wall run.
yeah, I mean, what a quick response from him. Just wall climbing and then stopping and wall climbing once more. Look at this Dragons. Here comes that Diva Bomb from Big Rick, catching 3 members on the high ground after being taken out by the Hanzo. I mean, a hero's journey right there for Big Rick.
You know what they say, legends never die.
That's true. That's true. And now we have this legend of the Big Rick Diva on Kutztown's team. And that 3-man Diva Bomb on Volskaya will never die. I'm sure he popped off after that one.
Hey, so now we are seeing what Kutztown will do on the defense here on Volskaya. Looks like a fairly similar composition to their offense. Very interesting.
So, again, we're seeing this Sombra just to try to break maybe a double shield that Kutztown might have, or to catch a Zenyatta out. And that catches both contingencies there. And Kutztown does have that Zenyatta. Litlo's going to have to be careful here because there's a lot of people that have bullets with his name on it, right? We've got the Wrecking Ball, we've got the Sombra, we've got the Tracer, and we've even got a Zenyatta who can spam super long range as well. I mean, Litlow has got to be careful here on this high ground. He's got to be close to Bone Wheel. Bone Wheel's got to kind of babysit him this whole time here, and or else it's bad news for him. There it comes.
Seeing Ilax Sanity back on the Zenyatta will be very interesting. He's already over 3,000 damage as I speak.
Bubbles catching Litlow out there early is not good for Kutztown. I mean, they need that healing, they need that long range healing, and they're not going to have it. Now Zenyatta's got to walk all the way back.
Coming in on the Tracer, getting a little bit of real estate on that point. And then Bubbles finishing it off with the Wrecking Ball. Not enough to take the first tick on the point there.
Charlotte finding one is good for Kutztown because that means that they can have a little bit of
Bubbles getting nano boosted on the point, just sitting there saying, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
and
I lack
like
sanity.
Kutztown, the answer is not much.
I lack sanity approaching that Transcendence here already is super impressive. Pretty much in line with his Tracer's ultimate, which is not easy to do on Zenyatta, and he's going to use it there.
Big Dragon Strike coming in from Peanut, but Ilax Sanity's got a Transcendence.
Wow, Kutztown finding a couple of exit frags here on a one fight here. I mean, even Ilax Sanity admitting that that shot was pretty impressive. Sending him to the spawn room on that Zenyatta is also going to be a long walk back for him.
Yeah, looks like Peanut has been really doing some work on this Hanzo. 14k damage.
Yeah, Peanut's been putting in work here on this defense. He's gonna probably have another Dragon Strike ready if he can get enough damage in early. But Charlotte falling early and without a Mercy Res is pretty bad for Kutztown. Fax Machine though.
Oh, big Pulse Bomb coming in from Quavar. Tried to get Peanut, but managed to miss the little toss there.
Yeah, he did just barely whiff it there. Bad luck for him, but Big Rick finding a remake kill onto Quaver there. After that missed Pulse Bomb, I guess a little payback for the attempt on his friend's life.
Yeah, it seems a streak of bad luck there for Quavar. Okay, Fax Machine coming in with a self-destruct onto Char and Bone Wheel. That is pretty good for Flustra here. They're gonna be able to get a few pings on this point here. And it looks like they will be able to take it.
Yeah, it looks like they're finally able to take point two. Kutztown, that was a great defense from them, even though they did have a lot of pressure onto Litlow. Litlow not swapping off of that Zenyatta, standing strong on that character, and we'll have this Transcendence. He's got to be careful though, because Kekeland's got an EMP with his name on it, and he's gonna have to be quick with the trigger of the use of this Transcendence. Kekeland, if he knows this, he's gonna be looking to bait Litlow into using his Transcendence early here.
Yeah, Kekeland coming in, trying to be another go-round with that Cloaked Sombra, but Peanut's location shot called him out.
Wow, a great Pulse Bomb from Charlotte. Will stick to Fax Machine and find Lucio. We're below the 3-minute mark now here for Kutztown.
Big rallying cry from Bone Wheel coming out here to defend his second point on Volskaya.
Yeah, Sponty and Peanut both forcing some players off the high ground there as they leave, and finding Quaver a little bit late there is going to be more time for Kutztown off of this clock on second point. Approaching a minute behind of the offensive time that we saw Flustra put down.
Okay, Fax Machine and Bubbles coming in, being the disruptive tanks. Oh, big EMP burst from Kekeland there onto 3. Big Rick, Sponty, and Bone Wheel getting caught in the blast there. But it didn't look like anybody on Team Flustra was there to follow up on that.
Yeah, Kutztown just still forcing them back, just getting enough kills to force them back and make them walk all the way back to spawn and wait for that respawn. Great job for them so far. Big Rick with his ultimate here. We've got Charlotte with their ultimate here. We've got Litlow with his ultimate as well. Charlotte falling early means that they're gonna have to. Flustra's gonna have to push in quick here if they want to make use of that pick.
Yeah, and it looks like they might be able to do that. They're coming up on 4 ultimates themselves. Lucio and Ilax Sanity about to have theirs ready to pop. And Bubbles coming in with the minefield. Big Rick with the self-destruct, trying to respond to that.
Yeah, bit of a spacing ult there. I'm not sure he wanted to use it that early, but it did happen, so they're gonna have to live with it. Ilax Sanity pushing in with that Transcendence there, just keeping his team alive.
With the rallying cry, giving Flustra the extra health and shield to kind of absorb any damage that Kutztown would be able to put out, but this team fight's not over yet. Bonti coming in with another minefield. And Peanut coming in with the big Dragon Strike.
Yeah, just trying to split these players up. Kekeland finding 3 with that EMP, but Kutztown just gets off the point for long enough. And, you know, they're going to take the point. Point B on Volskaya.
2-2.
Right, and we're about to see a replay here from Char on the Pulse Bomb onto Lucio and, I believe, yeah, the Zenyatta player just there. Really great movement and placement there from them.
Wow, we're approaching, I'm concerned this might be the last map, but it's only 9:30. You know, usually we'll only go back to these King of the Hill maps if it will be the last one. We might see a surprise King's Row on the end. I mean, we haven't yet, so we're seeing a Torbjorn here on Kutztown's side. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Interesting. I did not. Okay. Yeah, I did not expect that on Ilios of all maps, but I believe we have seen Kutztown use this pick before. You know, they've got Big Rick on the Orisa to give that turret the bubble shield, and then we've got Litlow and Bonewheel on the Moira and Lucio, respectively, to give the team the healing that they might need.
Yeah, I love this Roadhog pick from Spotty. It's just a little bit of a cheeky one, but we might see it matched on the other side. I'm expecting maybe a tank swap here. Diva Ball with the Cassidy Torbjorn, I'm not sure is what they're going to stick with, but it would definitely be interesting if we saw them stick with it. Peanut on this Doomfist is going to be the one to watch here. It's definitely a very difficult character to play on this map, but can yield great results if your positioning is good, if your flanks are good.
Alright, we see Ilax Sanity opting to swap back to the Zenyatta that they've been so dominant with this this scrimmage. Bravar opting to swap off to the Reaper, okay. And Ilax Sanity swapping to, okay. I should just stop talking because they keep switching characters. So.
Yeah, they're definitely listening to the stream and trying to troll you a little bit there. I do, you know, I mean, Kutztown using this Torbjorn on this map is something that they're very used to, they're very familiar with. I'm expecting some good play from them here if they keep it, but against a Sombra is a great pick, right? We've got Sombra who, if she gets damaged, that hack will get canceled, and that Torb turret, I mean, the whole point is either to cancel a hack or to keep a Tracer busy destroying another target before she can get to your team. So let's see where he places it.
And we see that turret going up in that little corner there. Great placement there from Char, able to kind of get some really good angles on this control point here. Able to control a lot of space and just get extra damage on the side of Kutztown, but that turret is going to end up being destroyed there from the rush in from Vax Machine and Bubbles, although they do die because of it.
Kutztown with a good first team fight win here. They're a little bit ahead in the ultimate economy, but not that much. They're going to have another good fight here if they want to guarantee some more percent on the point.
Yeah, Bone Wheel on the Lucio, skating around on the top of that windmill, just trying to be a little bit of a nuisance and try to disrupt some of their positioning a little bit, get a little bit of maybe extra ultimate charge. And Ilax Sanity coming in with the Moira ultimate.
And we saw big boop kill onto a very unlucky fax machine on Flustra's side there very early. But I mean, this is absolute madness. Just players dying left and right for both teams. But it looks like Kutztown is able to squeeze out these last couple kills and take this extra % on point.
Yeah, it looks like Flustra might have been able to take that point for just a second there. But then Kutztown came back around and just took it back.
Kutztown setting up the back of this point here, but Keke lands approaching this EMP here. This would be bad news for them because they're just going to get dove by a bunch of players. I guess Litlow just keeping his team alive right now. Peanut with his ultimate ready to go.
Okay,
there comes the
EMP wave and the follow-up from Fax Machine.
Austin, if you could keep going here, I'm actually losing connection a little bit.
Alright, so we saw, actually, Flustra managed to lose that team fight there. Kutztown managing to find 3 picks off of Team Flustra there in that little interaction. We are seeing a pause right here. Seems like everybody's having a few internet connection issues right now at the moment, so bear with us. The game should be returning in a few seconds here, but
yeah, we're gonna take a quick look at this hog ultimate here from Sponty, pushing the player off the edge here, and it looks like surviving somehow. And here comes this hook on the Sombra. I mean, an excellent placement there is gonna mean a free kill for Kutztown, and that's a great position for him to be in. No one wants to stand around him when he's around that well, and if they're caught out, I mean, it's their problem, to be honest.
yeah, definitely an interesting character to play on this map. I absolutely love seeing the Roadhogs get those cheeky hook kills over the well and boops off the map with the Roadhog ultimate there.
Bubbles here with his Primal Rage online. On a hacked Bone Wheel, it's going to be a big kill for Flustra if they can catch it early. Big Rick catching one, but Flustra's unable to actually get a kill out of that hack. Bubbles forced to Primal Rage here is just kind of knocking some players around on Kutztown's side, but Kutztown with 99%, just showing why they're the kings of well right now. I mean, a great map from them.
Yeah, wow. Lucio, the only survivor in that team fight, and not for long. Quavar and, Quavar coming in with the Reaper, trying to just edge that timer out just a little bit more, but Kutztown takes that first match.
I'm gonna see a big Lucio boop here from Bone Wheel. Catching, like that, like I said, that unlikely target that D.Va just unlucky did not have the boosters online, and because of it, just gets checked for it. Bone Wheel saying booster check, and unfortunately Fax Machine failing to meet that requirement. All right. Kutztown gearing up, Flustra gearing up for the second map. That was the most dominant performance that we saw from Kutztown tonight. I mean, honestly, Flustra so far kind of putting Kutztown down on all of these maps. But Ilios appears to be their map. They're putting their foot down here and deciding this is where we take our stand. And we're seeing another bit of a gadget pick here for Kutztown. The Cassidy with the double bubble dive composition. Now, for those of you at home, the first bubble is going to be that Winston projected barrier that Sponty will have, or Bubbles will have. And the second bubble will be from Big Rick or Fax Machine, your Zarya players. They're going to be supporting their Winston in their quest to take down the support players of the other team. We see Flustra opting for a little bit more of a defensive composition with the Brig, but both teams do have that Tracer Cassidy combo, and they're looking to protect their team with that that Cassidy, and then also deal some damage in the backline with that Tracer. So we'll see how this plays out.
Quavar swapping off to the Symmetra real quick to try to get their team to the point a little bit quicker, going immediately back to the Cassidy there.
Litlow already getting ahead in the Nano Boost game. Just a couple of percent, but such an aggressive play from Bubbles. Soft diving Kutztown's high ground. Big Rick finding a lot of damage on him, but not enough to warrant him chasing him all the way over there. There goes that bubble jump from Sponty. The bubble will eat that bash from Lucio, but there was just so much concentrated damage. Some well-placed damage from Flustra there on Sponty will basically net a teamfight win off of a single defensive play.
Yeah, 4 or 5 players there caught in the crossfire on Kutztown's side in that offensive push that Flustra just put out. And that means they're gonna be able to take a couple points on the control point.
Kutztown regrouping now. Bubbles with a great position to get some free damage out here early.
Oh wow,
Sponty!
big boop there from the Brigitte and the Anna, using the flail and the sleep dart to just get safe. Sponty, you're out of here.
Yeah, I mean, Sponty just taking the biggest L. The L in I Lack Sanity just right in the forehead of Sponty. Lucio using both that whip shot and had the bash online, but that sleep dart from I Lack Sanity right before that whip shot means he's sent back to his team in a casket, asleep. Kutztown now starting to fall on the second point here. We saw such a dominant showing from them on this first point, and now
Sponty coming in with the mana boost though, maybe able to get something off of this. Manages to get a pick off of Fax Machine. That could be important, and it looks like Kutztown will be able to take back the point because of it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily a super one fight for them, but they did have a positional advantage on their high ground, which gives them control over the point, at least enough to get that percent rolling. Flustra about 20% ahead on the point right now, so they're in a pretty good position here, and they're up in the ultimate gain. Charlotte using a bit of a zoning ultimate there to try to keep Flustra out for a little
got a
bit
pick
longer.
on Peke Land though. She peeked out at just the wrong time there. Oh wow. Quavar getting his ultimate just absolutely denied by Peanut there.
Yeah, this map so far is just which supports can deflect an incoming Winston better, and we saw Flustra do it pretty well at the beginning, but now Kutztown's starting to do a little bit better in that department. Bonewheel using both of those Brigitte cooldowns, the whip shot and the bash, to protect his team, specifically Litlow on that Ana from that incoming damage. Monty with a great position on the high ground here is just trying to get that ultimate ready, that nano boost ready from Litlow, and he does have it. Looks like Litlow's gonna be putting it on the...
Wow, Bubbles coming in with a nano boost of his own, but Big Rick coming in with the Graviton Surge to kind of lock those players in place. They're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, a couple players on the high ground here for Flustra is going to mean it's harder for Kutztown to hold this point, but nobody goes! Nobody went to the point. I mean, it looked like that might have been Kutztown's fight, but it could have gone either way with a little bit of good shot calling. We're going to take a look at a highlight here. This Nano on that monkey, just so much damage on Kutztown's backline, just ripping through 2 players. Just kind of politely coming down from that high ground onto them, and then that Nano jump pack damage is just too much for them to handle.
Alrighty, and we are about to start on the Acropolis here on Ilios. Looking like a fairly similar composition from both teams. It is a mirror match minus Quavar on the Symmetra, trying to get their team to that point a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we've
I
got
expect
Peanut.
them to swap back as soon as they can maybe get on that point.
Yeah, Fax Machine has quite the job in front of him to deny the, you know, the sneakiness of Charlotte and also the damage incoming from Peanut. Kutztown taking the first 2 maps of Ilios here. They may be adapting finally to Flustra's playstyle. They're fighting over this health pack. This is very important. Whichever Sombra can hack it first will help their team more. And it looks like Kutztown will get the health pack before Kekeland is able to get there.
Oh wow, and Kekeland almost got hooped off there by Kutztown, but used the recall in order to save themselves.
Sponty with his cleave damage, Bubbles with his cleave damage on a Kutztown, just so much. Bonewheel with a bit of a Reddit Lucio moment there, trying to boop some players off. It just doesn't happen. But it was a great attempt by him.
Wow, I lack sanity already with the Moira ultimate slicing through Kutztown.
Yeah, that is an incredibly quick coalescence there. And the reason being, I mean, we have Sponty just doing so much damage on this Winston through the team. Not on one player, on every player on the team at once. And I lack sanity with the exact opposite of that, right? Healing every player at once on his team with those healing orbs. And that secondary fire healing that Moira has. Just getting that coalescence so quick and is already 25% to the next one.
And we see coalescence coming out from Litlow as well, trying to get something started for Kutztown. Bubbles gonna find himself at the receiving end of that one, but the rest of Flustra is gonna manage to survive.
Kekeland will be the sole member to fall to that Big Rick stealth destruct, but Peanut tried with a hero moment here, try to take out like maybe 4 or 5 members of Flustra's lineup, but he just wasn't given enough help at the time. There wasn't enough players around for Kutztown to actually get value off that ultimate, and that's really good news for Flustra, right? We do not have a Death Blossom on the table anymore, and we only have an EMP. Here comes Char with this EMP.
Yep, Char coming in with big EMP from Charlotte there. Or actually, excuse me, Kekeland coming in with a huge EMP. 5-person EMP there from Kekeland. Gonna be absolutely massive for Flustra. Kutztown is reeling after that. They're going all the way back to their spawn point. We're seeing another pause here.
Yeah, Litlow appears to have gotten EMP'd in real life from Kekeland. Kekeland probably owes something in reparations for that. After the Moira falls to the IRL EMP, I mean, let's just take a bit of a stat break now while we have the opportunity. Excuse the sound in the background. We've got some loud cars going by, but both Sombra players putting down a lot of damage. Specifically, Charlotte just a lot more right now. We're gonna take a look at a replay here of that EMP. Kutztown pushing in to try to follow up on Charlotte's EMP, and Kekeland with a 5-man, just a casual 5-man. Probably
yeah, and the right-click regular hack coming in immediately afterwards.
Yeah, I mean this looks like a normal Monday night for Kekeland on Sombra. The DPS of Flustra slowly coming back to life. I mean, we saw the start of this scrim with just an immense amount of damage from the supports from Flustra, but getting back into the game here, Kutztown with a little bit more of a better position in the ultimate economy here. Sponty with his Primal Rage, you're going to see him playing a lot more aggressively now than he did. There goes that Primal Rage. We've got a Monkey with that Winston has 1500 health temporarily there. Bonewheel using that defensive sound barrier to try to protect his team as they push in.
Yeah, Fax Machine getting in a very bad position there, getting absolutely melted out of that mech.
Peanut
Peanut
finding
coming onto
two.
the point with the Death Blossom, trying to get Kutztown some real estate on this point. But
Yeah, I mean,
Lustra not giving it up without a fight.
yeah, Quaver just kind of getting revenge from that Death Blossom there. He does have one of his own coming up here, so Kutztown's got to get some footholds on this point here, as they haven't captured it at all on this third section of Ilios. But Ruin seems to be the map that they need the most work on. Kutztown had an amazing well, and they had an alright lighthouse, but now Ruin seems to be a bit of a weakness in their armor. Charlotte responding with a 5-man EMP, Kutztown jumping in to try to find any kills, but nothing's coming of it. Now that these players have their abilities back, Kutztown, I don't think, maybe they just weren't ready for it. Here comes this Death Blossom from Quaver. He's looking for it right now.
Oh wow, and double coalescence from both of the Moiras here. Finding Peanut and Sponty on the side of Flustra.
Yeah, that Diva Bomb will buy Kutztown just a little bit more time, and here comes that EMP from Kekeland. It's only going to find 2 players here, Bonewheel and Charlotte on the side of Kutztown, but it might be enough for them to flip this point. Kutztown does still own this point, surprisingly.
Yeah, Sponty going absolutely crazy with the Primal Rage
Wow.
there at the last second. Peanut and the rest finally filing in. They said, alright, you've spent enough time, we're here now.
Wow, this is absolutely winnable for Kutztown now. Sponty with a hero play with that Primal Rage, just barely look at the top of your screen right now. Flustra just barely able just barely not able to capture that point for their team, and now Kutztown in an advantageous position on this map. They're only going to have to win 1 fight and kill some stall characters here if they want to take all 3 maps on Ilios. Charlotte with this EMP ready to go, is looking for a great opportunity here. Looks like Charlotte sees it, it's going for it, it's going to find 5, and Kutztown's got to come in really quick. They were super far away, but they're able to find 1 early. They may have put themselves out of position early, but Bonewheel is going to undo that with a great sound barrier. Kutztown now in a good position here. Both Coalescence get used. Ilax Sanity will get killed right as he's casting it. Sponty with this cleave damage on both these tanks, and now Kutztown just clinching out this 3rd map for them on Ilios.
Wow, and double
there,
kill
but
on Big Rick
wow.
from the self-destruct there at the last second there, getting Kekeland and Lucio.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look back at some of these moments here. We have this Death Blossom here. He decided to pull the trigger on it. He had enough damage on the Sponty on that main tank there. He just decided to pull the trigger on that Death Blossom, and it worked out for him. Kutztown kind of coming back in that last, those last moments of the scrim in the last map. We're not going to be seeing a King's Row tonight, which is a bit of a rarity. But we'll be right back with you. We're probably going to be getting an interview with a Kutztown member in just a second. So, Austin, if you could keep the people entertained for just a minute, I will get that set up.
Yeah, we saw absolute insanity tonight, going back and forth. Just really close games between these 2 teams. Flustra, I think, was a really great pick for Kutztown to decide to do a scrim against. We're gonna take a look at some replays from Flustra. You see that replay again from Quaver on the Reaper with that Death Blossom. Absolutely coming in and doing some great damage. But as I was saying before, I think this was a really great choice for them to decide to scrimmage against this team. Everything was so close between these 2 teams, so I think they'll definitely get some real estate, some good knowledge, some good practice from this.
We're joined now by one of the Kutztown supports, Bonewheel. Bonewheel, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
So, how are we feeling after that scrim tonight?
I'll be honest, this was probably one of the more fun scrims. I actually can say I had a good time playing it.
Well, congrats. It's good to hear from you, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I say this might be the closest scrim I've ever seen you guys play in, at least this season.
Yeah, I mean that's
Um,
what I mean.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
nail biter.
that makes for really fun Overwatch games when it's down to the wire every single time. I mean, we opened up tonight with Lijiang Tower, which was 3 maps of 100 to 99 in Flustra's favor. You guys must have been chomping at the bit to go back to a control map. And I mean, talk about Ilios, talk about your plans here, because I mean, you guys definitely flipped the switch for this map.
Yeah, Ilios, we kind of said, you know what, let's see how we do when we're all on our like in our game doing comfort pits, sort of. But I just really want to play Lucio, and I made that known.
Yeah, I mean the amount of ult charge that you get from these super high-paced, close-range dive composition battles, you had so many sound barriers in that last game. Um, so, what was the big change, right? We saw so many close games, and we saw a lot of attempts at adaptation against what they were doing, character switches, style switches. What do you think tonight was your most successful swap or your most successful adaptation against Flustra?
uh, let's see. Probably, I definitely their monkey was really really good. I had to adjust to his dives quite a bit, because he would always dive me really good in places that I couldn't boop him off his brig or protect my Ana in any sort of way. So I kind of had to adjust to that quite a bit. But towards the end, I think I was getting used to where he was coming from when he started to, you know, he had that look in his eye like, oh, that's my target right there, you know.
Right, Austin, do you have anything you want to bring to the stream tonight for Joe? Any questions?
I cannot think of any questions right now. My brain is still a little bit in sick mode.
Well, let's talk a little bit about while it's fresh in our heads, that last team fight there. Um, Sponty with the hero play, keeping that point in Kutztown's control. Um, I mean, I was looking at the top of my screen for that capture percentage, and it was like 2 pixels uh, from being captured. Talk about what was going on in comms when that happened.
Quite a bit of yelling, quite a bit of, but like not yelling in the sense that just yelling random things. We were all very focused on target calling, all focused on one specific target. We're definitely growing really, really well as a team, and it really shows with how we're facing these better teams as scrims, and getting these 9,900 games.
Yeah, can I ask, I did see that Rick was looking for a more difficult scrim tonight for you guys. Can I ask what the SR range of this team that you guys played tonight was?
I think Rick said 3,500.
35. Okay. I mean, to be honest, you guys did great tonight. I'm sure you guys learned a lot about, the characters that you could pick, the counters that you could play against um, I mean, honestly, all-star support lineup. I can't tell you how many times I saw their Zenyatta like getting picks. I mean, he was I'm blanking on their name right now. Something about sleep, but absolute devastation on the Zenyatta from them. Did anyone ever get tilted because of the amount of times they were getting killed by supports?
I don't think so. I mean, at this point, uh, especially for me with how I play Lucio and going for all the crazy limbs, supports aren't. You can't sleep on supports. They can bring a lot of the team's kills to the table. Like it's that's why I think I like playing support so much, because I'm the unexpected like silent killer.
Yeah, man. Especially, I mean, with Reddit in your hands, anything is possible,
Yes,
really.
sir.
So we have a bit of a playlist here for you guys. Joe, if you could watch our producer stream here, this rightmost screen that he's streaming, we're gonna look through some highlights here, and I want you to talk through them as we go through,
Oh boy. Okay,
if you can.
we'll see.
So this was the very first fight of the night, right? We saw Charlotte get 2 picks super early here on Li Zhang. That's a big morale booster for you guys.
It's also super important. It lets me have to worry about my main healer a lot less now that both their flankers are gone. It just gives me a lot more peace of mind.
I mean,
that was a fun attempt.
That teleport play, was that in the playbook or was that improv?
We called it.
Nice.
Pretty sure it's a playbook. That Sponty play right there was definitely a sight to behold. See it live.
That 4-man Earth Shatter just ripping through them was definitely what you guys needed that right then, and he delivered. Sponty delivers.
That was a neat little save. Wow, that was a really cool save by that Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, we might get another look at it later, but Sponty just did so much damage on that Wrecking Ball, and just the boops on Volskaya for some reason. He was just on his game. Wow, Charlotte with some great tracking there. The amount of coalescences we saw in Ilios were insane. Just so quickly getting those ultimates.
Definitely a lot of ults coming out in Ilios.
The Roadhog ultimate boop off the side there from Sponty.
Yeah, and actually the Reaper surviving, barely teleporting back onto the map there and surviving, but I mean a great effort from Sponty. I mean, you can't prevent the Reaper from teleporting back unless you kill him outright. So anything that you want, I mean, assuming that there's some players from Team Flustra who watch the stream, I think it's rare for them to get their own perspective of how they play from someone on the opposite team. So do you have any things you want to tell them that they do well, stuff they should probably work on as a team?
I mean, first of all, let me just say they played fantastically. I'll say again, it was a great scrim, ton of fun. I'm not one for pointing out flaws. I can't really point that out for their team either. They played really well. I can't say I was seeing anything that I can call for like an immediate out of position. They did great.
Well, that's great to hear, Joe. I mean, this was also great to watch. I mean, so many crazy highlights, so many close, nail-biting rounds. But I mean, that'll do it for tonight. That's your Monday night collegiate Overwatch from Kanor and Austin. Again, this is Now Loading Esports. Join us every week here. We're here Sundays and Mondays, streaming some Overwatch collegiate content. Make sure to follow and subscribe to our Twitch. We do have socials that are down below the stream right now. But for now, thank you for joining me. Austin, anything to say before we close?
No, just gonna wish everybody to have a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you next Monday. Have a good night and a good week, everyone.